Hi, welcome back to the 5th episode of K-Drama Num Nums with me, Dachi. I know it's been a while since our previous episode about Crash Landing, but I'm back with another deep dive into one amazing K-drama, My Mister! If you missed the previous episodes, I've discussed the following in detail. Episode 1 was about the fashion couple, Episode 2 was about Hotel de Luna, Episode 3 was The Fiery Priest, and like I mentioned, Episode 4 was Crash Landing on You. Today we're talking about My Mister, a 2018 TVN drama starring Lee Sung-kyun and Lee Ki-yoon, aka IU. This drama actually won the title of Best Drama in the 55th Big Sound Awards. Now let's dive into characters and the plot overview. As you can see from the character map, a lot of the characters are in their late 30s to middle age. Only IU and Jang Ki-young's character are in their early 20s. My Mister is really about the story of three middle-aged brothers who are having midlife crises. Duh. And a young woman who has been living a life devoid of anything happy. These characters are brought together by curious fate to heal each other's scars from monotonous yet harsh realities of life. So is this a good or a bad drama? I'd say it was a difficult drama. I've actually attempted to watch this drama multiple times because I'm such an IU fan, but I would never be able to get past the first 20 minutes of the first episode. Usually that's an indicator that the drama is terrible, but that wasn't the case. The drama has quite a slow start for the bulk of the first episode, and you really need to ride that out. Sorry to bring in chemistry and physics into the equation, but My Mister is a really heavy drama. You need to be in a certain mood or a state to be able to ride out the initial waves before being able to get into the drama. Like in chemistry, the reaction doesn't get going until you achieve that activation energy. Having that right mood is a catalyst that lowers the activation energy required. However, this drama is still very heavy and you need a lot of persistence to bear the weight until the very end. The charm of this drama, ironically, is how heavy it is. Even after reaching the ending, which is a satisfactory one, in my opinion, you're still left with a bit of residual heaviness. The resolutions only lighten up the weight that has been piled on in each of the 16 episodes. Moving on to acting. From the character map, we can already see that the entire cast consists of very established actors. Kwon Ara, IU, and Jang Ki-young are relatively new to the field. They did a great job in this drama alongside the veterans. IU definitely deserves a shout out. It's not easy for an idol, quote-unquote, to don shabby looks for a defensive character, but she went above and beyond. Her mannerisms, tone of voice, and facial expressions really evoke the pitiful, lifeless qualities of a young girl who went through so much hardship. When someone goes through so much hardship to the point where they feel cornered and have given up, and to some extent forgotten how to live like a normal person, or even know what a normal life is, that's just next level, but so raw and real. The audience will pity her and root for her, but not consciously. You just end up glued to the screen because your subconscious self wants to know what's IU's next move and what does life have in store for her. In some ways, IU's character reminds me of the female lead in Extracurricular, which is a more recent drama. Both girls decide to sabotage the male lead, but Kyuri from Extracurricular is such an annoying brat. LOL. Kyuri decides to sabotage a dude because she's bored and ends up ruining his life more. Like, that was actually possible. I'm not saying that I don't have sympathy for her situation and how that motivated her actions, but she's pretty pathetic compared to IU's character here. Next, I want to talk about Jang Ki-young's acting. I don't want to spend too much time on the veterans because they've done a lot of recognition already. Jang Ki-young plays the character of Lee Kwang-in, who is a loan shark that harasses IU's character. They've actually known each other since childhood because Kwang-in's dad was also a loan shark and he used to harass Jian, which is IU's character. Kwang-in used to have a crush on Jian, but that ended when something unforgivable in his eyes happened. Since then, he has taken up the task of beating Jian and making her life even more miserable. survive office politics and keep his job. On the side, he struggles with his relationship with the CEO, who is his college junior, and his relationship with his wife. As he later finds out, his wife is having an affair with that CEO. Daniel's older and younger brother learned to put down their pride and started a cleaning service together to make a living rather than to just live their lives aimlessly and pining for the bygone glory days. IU's character, Ikea, struggles to live. She forgets sleep to work multiple jobs and even steals food scraps from a Chinese restaurant game to feed herself. She struggles to pay off her family's debt, overdue bills for her grandma's nursing home, and fend off Guanyi's violent attacks. Wanting to promote a moral sympathy despite her luxuries, she offers help when the CEO sabotages enemies, including Dong, to get them fired. In return, she gets money to pay Guanyi and hopefully put an end to her living hell. I said this earlier, but even though IU's character is so corrupt, he is simply you become exasperated when she makes those wrong choices and you can't bring yourself to get mad at her. At a young age, she lost her parents and has to take care of her deaf grandmother. Due to her family's debt, she's been beaten up by Guanyi's loan shark father since she was young. Things take a turn for the worse in high school. When IU comes home to her grandmother getting beaten up by a loan shark, so in the moment IU grabs a knife and kills the loan shark. That's the breaking point in her relationship with the kind Guanyi. For a young girl to become a murderer when she already didn't have much to begin with, her future fell out of existence. It's not clear whether Jian went to jail, but I'm assuming she at least Judy, even though they have defense. It's pretty fortunate that places hired her, including Donghyun's company. To be completely honest with y'all, I put this drama 2 times speed or skip certain parts, because I wasn't super interested in each and every character's story. In retrospective, I think the heaviness of this drama was a contributing factor. I'm definitely intending to rewatch this drama again from beginning to end when I'm ready. It's definitely not that my Mister is a bad drama that I skipped. It's more of the opposite. Every second is so impactful that I couldn't take it. And I think that's it for this episode of K-Drama Num Nums. I talked way too much, so I need a break. Stay tuned for more K-Drama related content